we're getting to discussions in recent months about borderline prospects for the Hockey Hall of Fame now. A lot of players have gone into the Hall who had less numbers than this guy. This guy is a Memorial Cup champion, two-time Team Canada silver medalist at the World Championships, put together 2 decades of solid seasons in the NHL, was and is one of the best broadcasters out there, a strong mind for the game, tremendously learned in all parts of what makes the NHL minor pro and major junior in the world, championship international scene tick. And I really think he deserves the Hall of Fame one of these days, maybe under the Veterans Committee. But for me, Ray Ferraro, for what he did after being drafted 88 overall by the Whalers after his strong seasons with in the WHL, especially Brandon with the later on with the Wheat Kings, cannot be not recognized. Now, Ray Ferraro is basically best known as, maybe pound for pound, one of the most consistent 5'10 centers in NHL history. Born in Trail, BC, 5'10", 192, a multi-sport star. Played Championship Little League and Trail as a youth. He played with Hartford, who drafted him, New York Islanders in their 93, not say cup run, but made it to semifinals. New York Rangers, LA Kings. He was original at the Thrasher and also played with St. Louis. Now drafted 88 overall in 1982 by the Whalers. It was based on his last season in Major Junior, where he had 135 points in 48 games for Penticton, including 65 goals. But here it gets quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. He played on a Brandon team that was considered one of the greatest major junior teams of all time. He had a 108 goal season with 192 points in 83-84. This was a year after he was with Portland when he won the Memorial Cup in 83. Ferraro's teammates, again on the Memorial Cup squad, including Cam Neely, Mike Vernon, Brian Curran, John Kordick, and other future NHL stars. Now, the 83 Memorial Cup was a great highlight of his career, but the totals with Major Junior of that year he played in Brandon, he had 43 power play goals, led the league in scoring, 108 games with 28 points and 11 playoff contests. But 43 playoff games, ladies and gentlemen, he was just finishing off every play that was given. Now, when he was drafted, he had one last season in Portland. Again, 90 points in 50 games, including 41 goals and 15 goals in the playoffs. Now, he broke into minor hockey with Binghamton in 85, but eventually was called up to Hartford with 28 points in 44 games. Now, 86, Hartford, if they would have bet Montreal in the playoffs, could have won the Cup. He had 77 points in a regular season, including 30 goals. With 9 points in the playoffs. Now, he eventually played with Hartford, was a heart and soul for the team, more than 21 goals in 5 consecutive seasons, and then in a very bizarre trade, he was sent to the New York Islanders for, of all people, Doug Crossman. He had 21 goals total in his 91 season, but his first season with the Islanders really broke through. He had 40 goals in 80 games. Now, 93, as part of that Cup run, he had a strong season with the Islanders, scored some key goals in overtime in the playoffs, and 20 points in 18 playoff games with 13 goals. Now, he played with the Islanders for a couple of more seasons, hit 20 goals twice, eventually found his way with the Rangers and the Kings in 96, 29 goals. 97, he scored 25 goals again, this time his second year with the Kings, the full year. And 2000, he eventually ended up in Atlanta, where he scored 19 goals as an original Thrasher in 2000 and a big 29 goals in 2001. Now, he was eventually traded to St. Louis to give him one last big shot at a playoff run. He did get St. Louis in the quarterfinals, but they lost out in their chance at the Cup. Now, overall, 1,258 games, 408 goals, 490 assists 898 points, 43 points in 68 games in the playoffs and 21 goals. But you see, the intangibles with Ray Ferraro, he was a team leader. He basically he was an assistant and a captain, especially in Atlanta. He knew basically what he was doing. Now, talking about the intangibles, he scored 2 overtime goals against the Capitals as the Islanders defeated both them and the defending champion Penguins, losing to Montreal 5 games in a semifinal. He also assisted on David Volek's game and series-winning goal during overtime of Game 7 against the Penguins, which technically paved the way for Montreal's Cup that year. Now, the 20 points was a career high for him. Now, when he retired from the NHL, he went into broadcasting. He's done work for the ESPN hockey broadcasts, including on NHL Tonight, where he began working while still an active player. Now, he eventually worked as a studio analyst on NHL NBC, as well as Rogers Sportsnet games, and he's done different assignments through the years. Now, he's worked as a color commentator and studio analyst for NHL on TSN, as is quite well noted. He also provided color commentary and analysis for CTV during the 2010 Winter Olympics, where Crosby scored a golden goal. Now, after Pierre McGuire left TSN for NBC, he became the lead color commentator. After Rogers Media, the parent of TSN's rival Sportsnet, gained the national TV rights with effect in the 2015 season. He became a commentator for regional games, including the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, with EA Sports, of course, he's been an inside glass reporter for the various games. Now, on November 23rd, 2015, he became the first hockey broadcaster to broadcast a game where his child also played in the same contest, where with the Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the Bruins at the Air Canada Centre. Now, during the 2019 NHL Awards, it was announced he was promoted to lead analyst in NHL 20. Now, with ESPN, of course, regaining the rights to air NHL games, Ferraro will return to ESPN and ABC for the 2022 season, this time as a lead color commentator, sharing that role with Brian Boucher, formerly of NBC. Now, he will continue to work Maple Leaf games and the World Juniors for TSN. Now, his personal life is quite interesting as well. His second wife is former U.S. women's ice hockey team captain Cami Granado, who has also worked as a women's hockey analyst for NBC, especially during the Olympics. The couple has 2 sons. Riley was born in December 2006, and Reed was born in December 2009. Ferraro also has 2 sons from a previous marriage to his high school sweetheart, Tracy. Matt, born in 1988, and Landon, born in 91. Landon, the center, was drafted 2nd overall by the Red Deer Rebels in the 2006 WHL Bantam Draft, and the 2nd round of the 2009 NHL Entry Draft by the Red Wings. He was later traded from Red Deer to the Everett Silvertips, where he was named team captain. Landon made his NHL debut with the Red Wings on March 18, 2014, and Matt, the former goalie, was drafted to the WHL in 2003 by the Prince George Cougars, but he has since gone into business as a financial planner. Now, following the Swedish women's team upset of the U.S. at the 2006 Winter Olympic Games, Ferraro publicly criticized U.S. women's coach Ben Smith for failing to bring the best U.S. players to the games, which led to the team's downfall. His comments were broadcast on MSNBC during the intermission of a men's game. This appeared to be directly related to his wife being cut in August 2005 because she wouldn't give her NBC Sports job, give up her NBC Sports job, along with other veterans, in favor of younger, faster players. Some critics and fans also questioned Granado's cut from the team and cited it as a factor in the U.S. team's disappointing performance. And of course, he represented Trail BC at the 76 Little League World Series. Now, the big trade, of course, besides the Crossman, was the deal. He was sent with to the Rangers along with Ian LaPerriere, Nathan Lafayette, Matthias Nordstrom, and a 4th-round draft pick to the Kings in exchange for Curry, McSorley, and Shane Sherlock. Now, when he was signed by the free agent with the Thrashers, he became a strong hometown hero with the Thrashers faithful, and again, one of the most respected players. Now, just to recap, and I still think his 3 seasons in the BCHL, the WHL, back-to-back, are some of the most impressive ever. He scored over 214 goals in a regular season over those 3 seasons, with well over 400 points in a regular season. In the playoffs, he put up 55 points, including 28 goals. So you do rough numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever net was, it was in danger when he was on the ice. Now, I honestly think, because of his charity work as well, or if you're going to put an overall person in the Hall, he would fit, because his work on behalf of the community has been very strong. He's been active in charitable causes during his playing days, including with the Muscular Dystrophy Association, the Connecticut Anti-Drug Program, and the Los Angeles charity helping children with AIDS. Now, the idea of this, would members of the media put in one of their own for being as good as an announcer that he was as a player? Now, maybe him living in 2 worlds where basically he's covering his own family or commenting his own family puts him in conflict, I don't know. But if you're looking at on ice, if you're looking at international, you're looking NHL, you're looking junior, you're looking overall impact of the teams he played for, excellence, a 30-goal man, you would need 13 straight seasons of 30 goals to beat Ray Ferraro's numbers. And if you look at the rough information over the last 45 to 50 years, he's been one of the best athletes that Canada's had, overall athletes, in that time period. And what's weird about this, ladies and gentlemen, he's in the British Columbia Hockey Hall of Fame. He went in 2004, just shortly after he retired. Now, more factors of his thing. He was the WHL MVP for Brandon in 84. He was the Player of the Year for Brandon, also in 84. Points leader, East All-Star First Team, and WHL records for Brandon, 108, most hat tricks with 15, most goals in game 7, and again, most goals in the season, power play goals, hat tricks, etc., etc., etc. Either broken, shared, or whatever. Tremendous. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you think Ray Ferraro should be in the Hall of Fame, give me a like, comment, or subscribe, and don't forget, he did a lot. He will do a lot. Think about it for a second. Be objective. Should Ray Ferraro be in the Hall of Fame? I say yes. That's just my opinion. Thanks for listening. Bye.